Hello and welcome to Derby Presents Open Day Live, and just look at this gorgeous studio that we have coming to you live, as the title would suggest, from the University of Derby. Well, today we've got an Access All Areas Pass. Follow me. Now though, to make sure that you get the most out of your time at university, look no further than to your Union of Students. So we're going to try and head over live to Sile, who's at the heart of Derby's Union of Students, to find out more.
Thank you, Radzi. I am here at Blends, the Union of Students coffee shop. So I am joined by the Union of Student Officers, Corey, who is the Union President, and George, who is the Vice President of Activities. So we're going to start with Corey first. So Corey, what is the Union of Students and why do universities have one?
Thank you, sir. So as you can see there, we're involved in a lot of different things across the university, but I suppose our main role is to be an independent charitable organisation. We receive and amplify student voice across every level of the institution, and that's just so that students can really be co-creators in our educational journey. And I suppose as a union, we really pride ourselves in being part of that journey so students can make their experience, particularly at Derby, what they want it to be.
Here's a video of a little taster of what the Union of Students is all about.
And I think it's safe to say that when it comes to Derby, it is a place for everyone. Now, the fact that you're here watching this probably means that you're thinking about taking that big and exciting step to move away from home. And if so, the University of Derby's award-winning accommodation is the place for you. There is a wide range of choice in the form of accommodation in Derby, so whatever you're looking for, you can be sure to find something that suits you. Yes, the University Halls of Residence Kitchen, the hub, as we basically used to call it. It's where you start the day, it's where you finish after a night out. But for me, what made it so special was the fact that my flatmates, they weren't on my course, they didn't play for my sports teams, and that's why they became friends for life, because we shared an experience that I will never forget right here. But there's another room as important, and it is indeed the bedrooms. Let's take a look. Come on into my place. Now, all halls of residence rooms are simple, but you know what? They're your space, and that's exactly what I think you should do. Make them your own space. So I had photos of my family, I had posters of my heroes, but ultimately, this thing here, this got a lot of sleep. And this thing here, this is where an awful lot of work happened. But when you're not in your room and you're not in the kitchen, there's another place you might have fun as well. The common room. They all have their own quirks and everyone is slightly different. This one not only has a pool table, but it also has a DVD player, consoles, a TV screen, books for you to read. But actually my favourite thing is that throughout the year they have an extensive events programme for you to get involved with as well. So no matter what you like doing, there's always something for you. Yeah, I almost forgot the laundry. I didn't always send my washing home to my mum to do. I occasionally did it myself, especially when my stuff really needed it. And this really needs it. I still don't know how it works. When choosing your university, a big thing to consider is its location. And the great thing about Derby is that it's in the heart of England, as a few people have mentioned. It has convenient transport links. The Peak District is just on the doorstep, but there's also a whole lot more.
Hi and welcome back to Blends with me, Sile. And so now we're going to be talking about living in Derby. So when I was a student here, in all my 3 years, I did live in Derby. And my favourite thing to do was to walk around the city centre, because everything was close to me. I could go for a coffee and then go do some shopping, food shopping, clothes shopping, and I love the little museums, the little pockets, and as Radzi said, the Peak District is right on our doorstep, and we have Mark Eaton Park just to walk from the main campus. So Derby, it was a great place for me to live in. And of course the nightlife here is really good. We're going to talk more about that with my guests, Iona and Marge, and I want to know about what they love about living in Derby. So Marge, we're going to talk to you first. What are your favourite things to do here in Derby?
So there were quite a lot of things to do. So if I wanted to socialise, we had like bowling alleys, we had cinemas, just all kinds of things. If I wanted to be a little bit more sporty, we had like the sports centres. Also got like climbing facilities as well, so I could go bouldering if I wanted to. So like there was all sorts to cater for what I was like feeling really.
I like that. Iona, what about you? What do you like to do around here?
I think I like the fact that I can find what kind of place I want in regards of my feelings. So if I want to go for like a coffee shop, I can just go for it because we have lots of those. And it's just a great thing. I feel like Derby is kind of a mixture of everything. So you have lots of options to go for when it comes to food, when it comes to drinks, when it comes to just people and culture. You have everything you want. And I think what I've loved the most though is just the nature, because we're surrounded by nature. Obviously we have the Mark Eaton Park, which is a great place to hang out with friends or just go for reading a book. It's just one of my favorite places in Derby, I guess.
Next step will be the all-important university application, and that can be daunting for some students. So here's Gurjit, who heads up the university's admissions team, to give you some insider advice.
My name is Gurjit Najjar. I'm the Assistant Registrar at the University of Derby and responsible for the admissions service at the university. You can apply through UCAS for undergraduate courses, which is a national service. Go to ucas.com and you'll be able to find the steps that you need to go through to apply online. You have a deadline of 15th of January. The system is open now for applications. A personal statement is what it says in the tin. It's an opportunity for you to tell us about yourself above and beyond your qualifications. It's a statement to be made about you, and you're expressing yourself in the application on the bits that we won't necessarily get from simply your qualifications or your school history. So it is a very important component of the application where you are able to sort of tell us more about you and why you're choosing chosen that course or the university and the line of subject that you want to go into. We look for lots of things. We're looking for good writing skill as well, as much as the content of the personal statement. So we want to understand why you want to do the course, what is it that interests you about it, your own experiences and skills, and you need to get yourself across, and what's inspired you to do the course right now. But it's also about writing skill, like I said, so structure, grammar, spelling, punctuation, all of those components are important as part of the written part of the statement.
Some fab advice, but there's also lots of support on the University of Derby's web pages, by the way, even a personal statement builder. It's safe to say there is a wealth of support available at the university for you, even before you actually start your studies, as well as during your time at Derby. And that's because the university wants you to be successful, but as importantly, for you to enjoy your time whilst you're here.
Hi, welcome to the University of Derby. So coming to uni is a very big step, but here at Derby you're definitely not alone. You will make friends really quickly, and there are also lots of student support services on hand to help you with any issues that you may have. So come with me and I'll introduce you. This is our Student Wellbeing Centre. Everyone here at Derby wants you to be successful and have a great time. So that's why if there is anything that may impact on your well-being, your experience, or your academic performance, this team is here to help. Let's go and meet them.
We know that to succeed at university, it's not just reliant on academic ability, but also on your well-being. So when you're studying here, if you're facing any personal issues or you want to speak to someone about support, come and see us here and we can arrange an appointment for you to speak to someone.
We can help with a whole range of support, from budgeting to anxiety management, managing your health and generally juggling your life. So please, when you need to, come and see us.
Here we are at our next stop, the Multi-Faith Centre. Let's go and take a look inside.
At Chaplaincy, we are here to provide you pastoral, spiritual or emotional support, or to help and support you if you want to explore faith or religion if you have interest, or simply chat with you anything you want, or to put you in touch with other sports lines within the university.
We also have an equality, diversity, inclusion and wellbeing team.
It's really important that you feel like you belong. And so our equality and diversity team make sure that regardless of what background you come from, that you are absolutely represented right across the university. But our personal academic tutors, of which you'll have one, will make sure that you've got somebody to talk to about your progress, and that you can also talk to about how things are going and what things you're excited about for the future.
This is Miranda, and she's going to be telling us about the Centre for Student Life.
At the Centre for Student Life, you can access loads of support. At the Career Hub, you can get career ready, take advantage of our fab libraries and learn how to access journals and loads more. Your student and graduate experience team put on loads of offers for you to get involved in. We have the International Travel Awards, where you can get the chance to travel abroad, develop new skills and make new friends. Use the centre to seize every opportunity that comes your way.
Great, well thanks for that, Miranda. Well, that's everyone. You've now met all the different support service teams that are here to make your uni experience the absolute best that it can be. Hope to see you around again soon.
If you fit into one of the camps who may require your support, what advice would you give to a student who is applying to the University of Derby at this point?
What's really key is on your UCAS form to engage with that and declare a disability. For professional courses, all that happens is that you go through OccuHealth like you would if you were applying for a job, for nursing or something. Because sometimes people worry about declaring it on application, and we can assure them they don't need to worry about that. Because all it means from our perspective is that we'll get in touch with you in advance of you starting. Do lots of work with you if that's what you want, to make sure that your support is all set up for university.
I work in the Student Money Advice and Rights team, and we provide information, advice and guidance to students about all elements of finance and student funding whilst they're here, and pre-entry as well, so events such as the Open Day today.
Lovely, okay. Obviously, finance is a massive consideration when you're moving to a university. It's one of the big ones. It's one that we hear about a lot in the news. What funding is available to students, and how do they apply for that funding?
Okay, your main package of student funding is your tuition fee loan and your maintenance loan. So tuition fee loan is the loan that pays your tuition fee. That's the loan for £9,250, non-means tested, and that's paid direct to the university by the student loans company. So that's one of the elements that students never physically get to see, or spend.
Sure.
The maintenance loan is the living cost loan. So that's the loan that is paid to students to pay for accommodation, food, clothes, anything all the way to books, pens and paper. So everything else comes under the banner of the maintenance loan. There's other support available, so grants for dependents. So if students have children or adults who are financially dependent on them, they will also be assessed for grants for dependents. The application process is a single application through student finance, so they assess you for all elements of your student funding, so you don't have to look for the funding and where to apply. It's a single application, single point of application, and everything that you're eligible for is assessed at that one point.
Excellent, that's fabulous. So what bursaries are available, and how do you find out if you're eligible for those bursaries?
Most universities have bursaries. They'll have some form of financial support that they will offer to their students to help them whilst they're at university.
Sure.
At Derby, we've got 3 bursaries available. We have a university bursary, which is based purely on household income. We have an academic achievement scholarship, and we have a Buxton Elite College bursary, which is a local bursary for students coming to us from the local college. All of our bursaries are assessed automatically. There's no application process. We assess them based on information that we get either from student finance about household income or from the admissions team about the academic grades of the student when they arrive. Okay. So they're all automatic. You've got to bear in mind, if you're looking at, throughout the sector, bursaries are different. They all target different areas and they have different eligibility criteria. Sometimes you have to apply for a bursary, sometimes they're automatic, but certainly here at Derby they are all automatically assessed.
That is fabulous news. Right, scenario for you.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of going to the University of Derby. I've seen this. I've fallen in love with the place. I've seen the supportive staff. I've seen the awesome facilities. Can I afford it?
Okay. The thing to remember, and the important thing, is that to go to university, you don't necessarily have to have the funds or the money up front. Tuition fees are always something that people really think about, because it's £9,250 per year, but you can take out the tuition fee loan. So your fees are paid up front at the point of enrolment. Again, the maintenance loan, although it is assessed based on your household income, it is assessed to try and make sure that you get the appropriate level of support that you need to live on. So you should get the appropriate funds to be able to pay for your accommodation, and all of your other general living costs. So you don't necessarily have to have the funds up front to come to university, so not having the money shouldn't be a barrier to to higher education.
Sure.
What a place, what a city, what a university. I hope you've had a fantastic day. I personally have learned a colossal amount meeting all the staff, the students, and finding out about the myriad of courses, options, facilities, and ultimately opportunities that this incredible university has to offer. So in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and thank you very much for watching.